Hey everybody, I bet you all thought I died. I didn't die. I wasn't even sick. Unfortunately, well, there was just some issues, we'll call it that. Technological and personal issues that I needed to deal with. But enough with the chit chat. Welcome to episode 21 of Psycho's Platters, sponsored by, well, nobody, but look, it is coffee with Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. All right, now listen, in case I don't get to make another episode between now and February 29th, okay, we decided, or should I say I decided, to go off and do a personal episode here about, okay, everybody's got a favorite band, right? I know you do out there. All of you do in the vinyl community have a favorite band. Mine, it's a two-way tie. Okay, the Beatles obviously are on top of my list as one of them. But the second one, I have been a huge Monkees fan since I was about 5 or 6 years old. So that'd be 72, 73. That's when I started actually knowing who the hell they were. And I have gone off and listened to them over the years. I've watched the show. I have most of their videos. I'm missing the second season. I got to get that on DVD now that it's back out, of course. I have almost literally all of their albums, American ones. Okay, I don't have the imports. I do have a couple Japanese things, but I couldn't find them for this episode. Point of the matter is, well, you know, I'm sorry, okay? There is only 2 times that I have gone off and I've cried a little bit when it came to musician deaths. The first one was John Lennon. I was 13 years old, okay? The Beatles meant something to me. They still do, okay? And yes, I know maybe that was kind of stupid because John Lennon didn't know me. Obviously, he didn't know me from Adam, but yet I felt connected to him and his music. And when somebody does that to you, or for you as the case may be, it doesn't matter, okay? You just still feel it. February 29th, 2012 was a very sad day, not only because it was just very unusual on a leap year to see somebody of this magnitude die, but when Davy Jones died that morning, after going to check on his horses in the stable, I was just sitting there going, what the heck? You know, it floored me. It still does. I had the pleasure of meeting him in 2005, which I'll get to some of that story in a little bit here. But yeah, I know they call him the Prefab Four, and you know, everybody back then anyway, you know, criticized, hey, you know, they didn't play on their albums. Well, you know what, guys? Obviously, time is a great healer. We figured out, of course, it really was only the first 2 albums, right? And you know, it wasn't their fault. They wanted to play. It was Kirshner and the other jackasses that went off and kept them from doing it, with the exception of an occasional, third guitar or a background vocal, okay? Some of the stuff on these first 2 albums are pretty decent, but I like the older stuff. Anywho, here's what I wanted to show you in my Monkees collection. Yes, I do have one. It's not complete. I'm always keep looking for things, but needless to say, that's what exactly I've got going here. So I was anal on this one. I've got them in chronological order here. My son James behind me here. You're not going to find anything in there.
No, never know.
Yeah, they will. No, we don't have Tootsie Roll Pops. Okay. Start off with, of course, September 1966 when all of it got started. That's funny, James. The very first album, The Monkees. That's right. Okay, now on this cover you see all 4 of them standing in a line. Supposedly you see Mike is opening his mouth, getting ready to say something. Supposedly the line that was said in the photographer was, will you hurry up and take the fucking picture? Supposedly that's what he said. I don't know how entirely true that is. This one here, I know you can't see because of the light glare. It is signed by Peter. Yeah, that's right. I got to meet him back in '96. It says to David because, well, that was my former stepson, and if David's watching, yeah, I still have this album. You thought I got rid of it, but I didn't. So, oh yeah, the highlights on this album too, by the way, of course, theme from the Monkees. Papa Jean's Blues, I love that one. Take a Giant Step, Last Train to Clarksville. And my favorite Papa Nez song on this one, Sweet Young Thing. I love that song. And of course, you got a lot of your backing musicians were like Glenn Campbell, Leon Russell, people like that, Hal Blaine. They were all on there as well. Second album, More of the Monkees. Look, signed by Davy. Yeah, back when I met him in '05. So this one here, of course, you've got good stuff here. You got She, Mary Mary, another one of my favorites. I'm Not Your Stepping Stone. Yeah, I even like Andy Griselda. Peter Can't Sing, but what the heck. Look Out, Here Comes Tomorrow. The Kind of Girl I Could Love. And I'm a Believer. So like I said, signed by, yes, that's right, he's singing I'm a Believer. That's cute. Signed by Davy. Oh, and then another thing about this second album, I don't know if most of you people know this, but of course, they didn't even know this album was coming out. This is kind of how the rift got started between Don Kirshner and the band, because they were on tour, of course, and they're flipping through a record store rack, and they're like, what the hell is this? They didn't authorize this, so they kind of got pissed. Not only that, outfits provided by JCPenney. The times for 66, 67. But still a nice picture, I don't care. And this is the one that kind of incensed them. They were kind of mad that all of this went down. Okay, so you know what? Mike threatened to quit the band. He put his fist through the wall in front of Don Kirshner and the manager and said, quote, sorry there's a lot of swearing, but these are true words. He goes off and says, that could have been your face, fucker. That's what he said. He was a riled up Texan. Do you blame him? I don't. So, because of that, Kirshner tried to do a little sneak attack. Didn't work really well. So you end up with album number 3, which was one of my favorite albums, Headquarters. Yeah, that's right. Now, on the collector's point of view, I don't know if most of you know this, but there's 2 different versions of the back album on this one. Okay? So, here was version number 1. Now, you see the back cover here. Really neat, right? All right. Here's version 2. Okay. Can you spot the difference? On version 1 here, you've got all of them, except for Davy, with beards. Yeah, that's right, Pete, Micky, Mike. They all have beards. Chip Douglas, too. And the label decided, hey, wait a minute, we want these guys to be clean cut. So they yanked that picture off of the first pressing and stuck this bottom one where they're looking at work instead. Now, the one with the beards actually is worth a little bit more. So if you happen to have that one, guess what? Good job for you. You did well. Good stuff off of Headquarters, of course. You told me, forget that girl. You just may be the one. Shades of Grey. For Pete's sake. Sunny Girlfriend. I love Sunny Girlfriend. Zilch. Mr. Dabalina. Mr. Bob Dabalina. No Time and Randy Scouse Git, which in England they had to call it alternative title because Randy Scouse Git was not a nice thing to say in England. Okay, so that's like one of my favorite albums for the Monkees. This is the other one. The next album they did, of course, Pisces, Aquarius, Capricorn, and Jones. Why do they do it like that? Because, well, Mike Nesmith and Davy Jones share the same birthday, and the title wouldn't have been quite right if you think about it. Back cover here, really, really nice. For this one here, this one is, like I said, this one probably beats Headquarters as far as for my favorite Monkees album. Why? Because you got really good tunes like Salesman, She Hangs Out. I love this version. The original was on the Monkees show, but it was a little different. The Door into Summer, oh, I love that tune. Probably one of my favorites. Love Is Only Sleeping. Cuddly Toy, which was written by Harry Nielsen, and supposedly was written about a Hells Angels gangbang. So twisted. I'm trying to figure out how they could do that. Yeah, get that into the tune, but whatever. Words, I love Words. What Am I Doing Hanging Around? Daily Nightly, which, of course, now that they can't get the Moog synthesizer, which, by the way, Micky Dolenz was the very first rock musician to have one, and it's all over this album, and I love it. Mike, on the last tour, decided to imitate the Moog sounds. If you haven't seen it, catch it on YouTube. It's kind of funny. And, of course, Star Collector, which was about groupies. All right. So we go, 67's over with, okay? So the show ends in 68, in the spring. And you come up with one last album, and I got to admit, I do not have this one. I don't have an original anyway. This is a Rhino reissue of the Birds, the Bees, and the Monkees. Kind of a cheapo-looking collage thing thrown together. Kind of a, trippy little back thing produced by the Monkees, of course, for the first time. This one here, Annie's Municipal Court, really trippy. If you've never heard that one, it's a Mike-written song. Micky sings it, and it's just so out there. You could tell they were taking drugs major on that one. We Were Made for Each Other, good tune for a love mixtape. I know, pulls their heartstrings every time. Another Davy one, of course. Tapioca Tundra, Daydream Believer gets its appearance here. I'll Be Back Upon My Feet, Valerie, and Zor and Zam. Really good anti-war song from Micky on this one. So this one, spring of 68. So then you get to the show's over with, it gets canceled. Originally they wanted to keep a third season. They tried with NBC for a little bit and said, hey, guess what? We want to kind of change the format. We want to do a variety show. And I don't know what happened, but the plug was pulled on that one. I don't know if you remember, of course, that over the runs of the two seasons, you had Frank Zappa and Tim Buckley and a bunch of other people guest starred and showed up in there. And then, of course, they go off and do the movie that is such a cult classic. I love it. I get it. I have told half of the Monkees that I get it. And in the words of Davy, he said to me, really, he said this, you must be joking, which I wasn't. The movie Head. Oh, that's right. This was released in late 1968. This is a Rhino reissue. I'm sorry, guys, I don't have a real one. This one here, of course, nice old school black and white. If you've never seen the movie, go buy it. You'll be very entertained. You will not be having disservice on this. By the way, this one here, yes, it is signed, of course, by Davy Jones back in 2005 when I met him, and that's what he said. And Micky Dolenz signed this for me in 2010 when I met him in Chicago. I still need Peter and Mike. Oh, I want to get this completely signed. It'd be beautiful. Okay, so 68 gets done. They do a Japan and Australia tour, and then Peter, well, he left. I guess he was pretty much tired of the whole BS that was going on. He wanted to jump off the merry-go-round. I don't blame him, I guess. I really don't, but they should have just went off and said, hey, you know what? Cool your jets for a few months, chillax. But back in late 68, 69, you couldn't really do that. So basically, because they didn't do that, they decided to go be a threesome. Yeah, so you got Micky and Davy and Mike for the album Instant Replay. You know what? It's actually a pretty decent album. It is. It was the last one really to chart, was this one here. Of course, you got, let's see here. Well, okay. You know what? Here's the thing. This is a very odd album. And also, by the way, about half of this album is, oh, here's the back of it too, by the way. Sorry for the plastic sheen on it. Oh, and here, I'm going to show you one of the labels because we're going to get to something else in a minute too on this, okay? This is what Cold Gems, of course, looked like. And by the way, these later ones are very clean condition, very, very clean. The early ones, I could use better copies, but they work for the moment. But this one here, half of the tracks on here were 1966-67 leftovers. Okay, there was very few newbies by then. My favorite song off of here, though, was a 1966 reject called Teardrop City, which Voice and Heart did. They wrote it, and Micky sings it. It's really good. I like it. That's probably maybe the main highlight of the album here. I mean, I don't know. But that's what you got going. Then, of course, that one, like I said, sold okay, but not fantastic. They did a couple TV appearances. Then they decided, hey, guess what? Originally, back in late '68, there was a concept that there was going to be a double album for the Monkees, and each member was going to take one whole side, right? Double album, 4 guys. Makes sense, right? And they were going to go do this, and when Peter left, that kind of went. And they did still end up recording about 2 albums worth of material, but a lot of it ended up, well, buried until the Monkees Missing Links series in the late 80s, early 90s. But this, of course, was the intended 1969. This is late 1969. The Monkees present Micky, David, and Michael. This one here, you got Little Girl. Good, clean fun. I like that one. Looking for the good times. Really goofy track, Ladies Aid Society. Every time I hear it, I crack up. I can't help it. Listen to the band. This was like the last big classic. I love that song. Mommy and Daddy really screwed up. I got Micky's idea. This is the backside, by the way. Collage of all of them. And, you know, and that was pretty good. It really, really is. And, of course, once again, really clean Cold Gems. And then, late 1969, a couple things happen. There's some disastrous results, so to speak. The Monkees end up doing Kool-Aid commercials. If you've never seen them, go on YouTube. They're all right. But that combined with, I guess, there was a Tonight Show appearance with all 3 of them, and Micky was so stoned, I guess. I'm sorry, we don't have video for that. I heard there's a snippet of audio somewhere on YouTube. Go look for it. But Mike threw in the towel. He was done. He got out of his contract. I don't think completely scot-free, though, but he got out of his contract in November '69. And we'll get to this in a second because I got a couple solo albums from him. But the next one that comes out, which was the final one for quite some time, in April 1970, The Monkees Changes. This album here is probably the rarest Monkee album, along with a mono copy of Birds, Bees, and the Monkees. Good luck. I want one. Anybody got one for sale? Mono Birds and Bees Monkees? I will buy it. I ain't a rich man, but let's be fair. But this one here, like I said, 1970, or now down to 2. This picture here actually was a cropped and photoshopped, for whatever 1970 would be, photo of the Monkees on the Joey Bishop show. It was a 1969 appearance. You can actually kind of sort of see Mike's shadow a little. It's kind of hilarious. Here's the back album, back side of this. This one here, you've got, of course, Oh My My, which was the only single that came off of this. It charted at number 100. It just squeaked right on there. The picture sleeve for that one, I guess, is really rare. I do not have that in my collection. I'm looking for that. Midnight Train is another good one, too. And then Davy just simply said, hey, guess what? I've had enough. I'm going to go have my solo career on Bell Records. I do want to let you know something, though, about this particular album. I am told that there are 2 different label variations. I didn't know this until recently. There is the other variation, which I'm told is a West Coast variation, is this little C Cold Gems. You see that to the side of the label? That was the other printing variation. Instead of, you just had the regular Cold Gems, you know, without the little C. So that I was told was East Coast, West Coast for that particular bit. Very hard album to find, guys. I got this one, I'll confess, I think I did good. It was at a record store, and it's in mint condition, by the way. I got it for, I think it was like $15, $20 at a record store back about 10 years back. I couldn't believe he had that price on him. Like, what? Snagged it like you wouldn't believe. Also in '69, to capitalize, because the Monkees returned on CBS. Saturday morning reruns from '69 to '71. Monkees' greatest hits. I do actually have 2 copies of this. This one here was a library copy. The vinyl's actually halfway decent. The cover's kind of just shot. But that's, like I said, I found another one. Let's see, what else here? This was one of the Monkees comps before the 20th anniversary. Monkey Flips. Excuse me. I actually like this one. They did really good in my opinion, on this one. You told me, Teardrop City, I love you better, forget that girl, love is only sleeping, good clean fun, soar in Sam, no time, oh my, dream world, circle sky, little girl, daily nightly, and yeah, gonna buy me a dog. That's maybe about the only dog on here, but really nice for 1984 on Rhino. So then, guess what? 1986 comes this. That's right. Arista, could be better. Here's your gatefold on this one. Tells you kind of a miniature version of the story, right? Right. Well, this one here, they finally decide, guess what? Maybe you can record some new tracks. So they did end up doing That Was Then, This Is Now, which was originally a early to mid-'80s tune from a band called the Mosquitoes, which on Wax Museum with Ronnie Dark, I've actually heard that original version, and I like that one too, but I still like the Monkees one better. I just do. But then, Anytime, Anyplace, Anywhere, and Kicks, throwaway stuff, I'm sorry. But for this particular one here, the new stuff, they only got Micky and Peter on that. Originally, they had on the label that it was Davy, but they ended up having to go, oops, my bad, he's not on here. But the tour became successful and all that other stuff, so guess what? They decided they were going to go off and do Pool It in 1987. Yeah, this one signed by Davy. I just need to get Micky and Peter now. Wink. This one here on Rhino Records, here, the back of it, yeah, Get It Underwater. I still like Heart and Soul. That's probably my favorite one. These other ones, I got to admit, it was nice to have them back, but it was a so-so album. And then lastly, which I don't have on vinyl, in 1996, they went off and did Justice, which all 4 Monkees, yes, happened to be on. There was some decent ones on there, Regional Girls on there. Dang it, my head hurts. But there's a bunch of different ones on there that are nice. You and I is another good one. I keep hearing rumors that, we already had the November, December 2012 tour dates. Mike is on a solo tour now, coming up as well. And that's supposed to go through, I guess, late April. But I keep hearing whispers, and I hope they're so true, that late summer, early fall this year, possible another Monkees tour with all 3 of them. I hope so, because they didn't come anywhere close to me. I was upset. Excuse me. So guess what? I want to show you, Mike, after he left, had a really decent career. I like his albums. I really do. He went into a country rock vein. All right? And I'm sorry, maybe some people will disagree with me, but he's one of the founding fathers of country rock. Him, Graham Parsons, all these other ones, Flying Burrito Brothers, and all that stuff, Poco, but he's one of the founding fathers. I mean, he's been at it since like 64, 65 when he was Michael Blessing. They tried pigeonholing him though, but he's a Texan. He's a country boy at heart, but he still could rock. So afterwards, of course, he ended up Mike Nesmith and the First National Band. He had First National and the Second National. If he kept going to today, he'd probably be up to the 22nd National. Here's your back cover on all of this. You know, I got to tell you, he's smiling for once. You know, he finally was kind of happy, I think, because he was, you know, he was gone. Felton Jarvis produced this particular one. He also produced Elvis, okay, and other country artists at the time. This is on RCA. I apologize, I didn't get a chance to tell you that one. And this is in mint condition, beautiful orange RCA vinyl at the time. Calico Girlfriend. Some of these, by the way, are Monkee leftovers, okay? 9 Times Blue. He actually did that with the Monkees on Johnny Cash show, okay? Little Red Rider, Crippled Lion, the song that makes me sometimes cry, Joanne. Good stuff. And there's other ones too, and it's just wonderful. And of course, the band at the time, Red Rhodes, Pedal Steel. He was typical Nashville session musician, really good stuff. John Ware, John London, who also, if I remember correctly on this, was also the stand-in on the Monkees show for Mike. Yeah, go figure. Earl Ball, and of course, Mike Nesmith. A few dedications, the making of this album. I thought this was kind of nice. To Lester Sill, Bert Schneider, and David, Micky, and Peter. Very nice. Here's another one. Michael Nesmith, Tantamount to Treason, Volume 1. Mama Rocker, Lazy Lady, Highway 99 with Melage. Good stuff. She Still Thinks I Care. Some good standard stuff here. Also on your RCA Victor Dynaflex. Really good stuff. And then, of course, well, this was the last album of his for quite some time, in the 70s anyway, until, if I remember correctly, Tropical Campfires in 96. Infinite Rider on the Big Dogma. Look how serious he's trying to be. He always was a serious artist, though. I mean, let's face it. He invented MTV, for God's sakes. You know, and this man has done a lot of things. I'm told recently he just got a patent, and I'm sorry, I'm unclear on this, but it has to do with 3D technology with music or something. Anyways, this one here, of course, was on a Specific Arts label, which he had up until, I think, 1982 on this one here. I'm trying to remember if there's any other people. Let's see here. Well, okay, Lenny Castro's on here. Al Perkins, another standard session man, of course. No, other than that, that seems pretty much. But let's see, the ones on here that I like Magic. Cruisin', I love Cruisin'. The Sunset Sam, good stuff. So, you know, I mean, the only ones that I do have in my collection I couldn't find right away. I do have Davy Jones's albums on Colpix and Bell. Okay, both of those been recently reissued on Friday Music. Go check out their websites as well on that. Couple shout outs really quick. Wax Museum with Ronnie Dark. God, I love you, man. I hope you keep doing this for years and years and years. Let's see, what else? I'm so sorry. Bob and Ron's Record Club. Good stuff there, too. Shindig Magazine, Classic Rock Magazine, AOR Magazine. I'm going to talk about them next episode because there's some really good articles on there, okay? But like I said, you know what, if you only thought that the Monkees were just a simple prefabricated band that cut a couple good songs that you can sing and hum along to, which, you know, I do sing and hum along to, you would be so wrong. These guys, you know, even though they were meant to be just a band for a television show, turned into a hell of a lot more. And for this kid who's now almost 46 years old, it's one of the few bands that genuinely make me smile every time I hear them. Seriously, that is the God's honest truth. So you know what, guys? Thank you, Davy, Micky, Mike, and Peter, for giving this man decades of enjoyment. And I know there's millions of fans out there. All right. Till next time. Take care. God bless. Rock on.